How are all these overnight cues going to be impacting our Indian markets? We have a team of research joining in with us to set you up for trade. Which are the important stocks to watch out for? We'll give you all of that in a Power Prep segment. Holmas, first up, good morning. And what are we watching out for in today's trading session? US job report surely seems to be strong, but will India be actually reacting to that, or a mild muted week is what we would be ending Friday with as well?
Good morning, Vinny. And aside of the US jobs report, there are plenty of domestic triggers itself that we need to keep an eye out for today. It's typical, the week has been such, we've struggled to cross higher levels, consolidating in this 200-point range of 25,400 and 25,600, 650 on the higher side. And it's been this yesterday as well. We tried crossing Monday's high, failed to do that. But the good part was we managed to defend 25,400 on the downside yet again. The only negative bit though was, unlike Wednesday, we ended very close to the day's low. So that important 25,400 level will be a key monitorable to watch out for. A principal culprit has been Nifty Bank, which took the index higher last week, is dragging the index lower this time around. It's down almost 800 points from the record high levels. And the banking index will continue to remain in focus today, be it the private banks, be it the PSU banks. There have been a slew of business updates that have come out last evening. So all of them, be it RBL, Bandhan, PSU banks like Bank of Baroda, UCO Bank, all of them will be reacting to these business updates that have come in. Of course, devoid of global cues today, because US markets, though they ended higher yesterday, they were short. It was a short trading session. Today is a holiday, and that India-US trade deal continues to remain a key monitorable. So for now, it's indicating a cautious start for the GIFT Nifty. So keep an eye out on our markets today.
What we're watching out for. Look at the Nifty implied open as well. When we started the show, 17 points up, and now very, very flat, right? 0.40 points is what it's indicating. So flat start, cautious start is what we're watching out for. Let's move on and talk about which are the important stocks to keep on your radar this morning. We have Upasana joining in with us for that. Upasana, good morning.
Good morning, Vinny. Well, lot of stocks on our radar today on the back of Q1 updates. First up, let me start with Marico. The consolidated revenue growth on a YoY basis stood in low 20s. Next is Bajaj Finance, reported a strong Q1 update. AUM saw growth of nearly about 25% on a YoY basis and 6% sequentially. Bajaj Housing also came up with its Q1 number with an AUM growth of nearly 24% on a YoY basis at 1.2 lakh crore. Bank of Baroda, domestic deposits up 8.1% and domestic advances up 12.5% on a YoY basis. Bandhan Bank also came up with its provisional Q1 numbers. The total deposits up 16% on a YoY basis and 2.3% sequentially at 1.5 lakh crore. L&T Finance also reported a strong Q1 update with a retail disbursement growth of nearly about 18% on a YoY basis and 17.5% sequentially. Vedanta is the next one on our radar, with the aluminium production up nearly just about 1% and flat sequentially, and saleable metal of this is down about 7% sequentially and down 5% on a YoY basis. IEX came up with its June update. The electricity traded volume is up 6.5% on a YoY basis. And next up is ONGC. The company has signed an agreement with Japan's Mitsui O.S.K. Lines to build, own and operate two very large ethane carriers is what the company has indicated. And lastly, Emcure also in focus, as according to our sources, Bain Capital is likely to sell 2.4% equity via block deals on this counter. So all in all, lot of stocks on our radar today.
Absolutely, Upasana, a whole list of stocks that are going to be on and in focus in today's trading session. But finally, Mangalam is waiting by, as always, to tell us what is going to be happening in the world of F&O. Good morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So if you look at, the way the market fell yesterday, it seemed like it was an expiry-related move. Why do I say that? Because if you look at, the intraday charts of the Nifty Bank, as well as the key components, you would see it was only towards the end where the Nifty was holding on to 25,500. Those put writers suddenly had to throw in the towel. And then in the last hour, it was led by two index heavyweights. You had Reliance, which moved to the low point of trade, and we had HDFC Bank. So it definitely looked like expiry-related moves itself. GIFT Nifty is indicating a mild green start. The question I'll be, looking for an answer to is whether this last hour downtick in yesterday's trading session will get readjusted in the first hour of trade today or not. Just keep an eye out on the fact that the US markets are closed for trade today on account of Independence Day. So that implies that when the cat is away, mice will play. We will have a lot of domestic institutional investors, backing a lot of the mid and small cap stocks. The FIs, they continue to sell in index futures. So 2,400 crore worth selling yesterday, added 6,800 shorts, unwound 5,800 longs. And as as a result of which, over the last 3 trading sessions, their net exposure on the short side has nearly doubled from 38,000 to minus 61,000. And the long contracts have come down from 37% to 29% itself. The important part, however, the Nifty, despite its volatility, is holding on to day's low. Yesterday's low was very close to the previous trading session's low, in fact, a shade higher. But at the higher level, around 25,600, we are facing some supply. That's something that we've seen over the last 3 days Nifty high itself. So that's the broad range that the street is working with. In terms of the mid and small cap indices, like I said, the domestic institutional investors will be in focus, so keep an eye out on that one. And also watch out for Nifty IT. Why do I say that? Because overnight Wall Street did extremely well. Trump's spending bill has passed. So if the US economy looks a lot better, then you have the IT sector which benefits. The Q1 results come in very soon as well.
Absolutely, Mangalam. Thank you so much for that. Keep an eye out on the IT sector going forward as well. That's an important update there. But